G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the round 22 review. You're probably going to keep this quite short because, I've got a pretty rotten cold at the minute. So, I felt like I was due to get sick and I did. Um, so apologies if I sniffle, cough, sneeze during this review, but there's not much I can do. I'm going to be back at work on Friday. I'm just getting through it. As long as it doesn't go to my chest, it's fine. Which it hasn't thus far. If you guys didn't know, I'm asthmatic, so if it goes to my chest, it does get pretty bad. But yeah, hopefully this is the worst it gets. And anyway, we'll jump into the review. And finally, as you can see in the title, I had a good round. So we scored 2,629. So that was a very good score, considering, we've had a couple of really high scoring rounds. And for this week, that's a good score. So we scored, 2,629. And our season rank now is 3,584. I actually thought I'd go up a little bit higher for that score because I didn't see too many better than that. But that's all right. It was one of those rounds where there was only one score above 150, which was Josh Dunkley. And everyone else, all the premiums went pretty well, bar a few, but I was pretty lucky to have most of my guys go the way it did. There's not really much of an expectation for what I can do. I think that's probably the best I can do in a round score, and that's going up 300 spots. So if you have 2 more weeks of that, that's 2,900. So I might finish inside the top 3K, but that's absolute best case scenario, realistically. I don't think we can hit top 1%. We'd need to go up over 1,000 spot in 2 weeks, which I think is too much of an ask. I think that the last 5 weeks has just hurt me too much to do something like that. But extremely positive to get a bit of reward for what my team can do with 23 players playing. So the first time in a month, we've had 23 guys on the park. So I've been very happy with that. Was ruled out. It was announced that Adam Cher is out for the rest of the season. So I don't have any trades, obviously, due to the Jack Steele debacle. So that's not great. So what does that mean? We're just going to have to hope that these 23 players are all good for the next 2 weeks, realistically, if I want any hope of winning some leagues this season. So can't have any nonsense happen to any of these 23 guys, realistically. Got cover, so I can maybe afford one more guy to go down. But after that, I'm totally screwed. I mean, my only player that played on the bench was Tom Gross, who scored a 9, got subbed out, so he's probably dropped. I do have optimism that I think Zach Johnson, I don't think we'll see him. I do have a little bit of optimism that Ewan McKinlay and maybe Isaac Keeler can enter in the side for the final 2 weeks. But with Max Heath subbed out at halftime, maybe Keeler got through the VFL, so maybe he could come back in. Then Ewan McKinlay's put in a couple of really strong performances for the Port Adelaide Magpies and the Sandfuls. So might be able to get those 2 guys, I'm hoping. Tom Gross is basically not much cover at all. So, all my guys played extremely well, bar Petrarca. So that's the good thing with best 22, a score can cancel out. So my worst score was Tom McCarthy's 80. So that was handy, and he's been a saviour this season, that's for sure, for every one of us. My vice captain Holmes, I had 5 players score under the ton, and two of them were 99. So Mills, McCarthy, Holmes, Dacos, and Petrarca. And I vice captained one of the 5 that didn't hit the ton, so that was funny. But we captained Bont, and he never lets us down. So I doubt the captaincy will be moving off him, that's for sure. So, he's got West Coast, so I think we've got to go with that. Bailey Smith did what I thought Max Holmes would do. Sometimes it's tough to predict. Like one of them will go well, one of them will go okay, that type of thing. Vice captain for this week. I think it's got to be Gorn into Bont. I think Wanganeen Miller is such a good option. That's probably been my biggest mistake of the year. I neglected Nas for far too long. I don't even hate it. Like I love watching Wanganeen Miller play, and I think St Kilda deserve to keep him with such bad luck. Mixed. It's mainly for Saints fans. I hope for Saints fans that that Nas can stay. I'm not going to sit here and say St Kilda are a functional organisation, but I do hope for St Kilda fans he does stay because they deserve it. Not sure if he will though, but yeah, he's a very easy VC for the Friday night for most people. I'm going to go Gorn against Meek. Scored 142 last time, and Gorn scored 142 this week, so you hope with that. Then Bont against West Coast. Yeah, I hope he does well. Quick review for some of these guys. Max Holmes, 99, was all right. I didn't see barely any of the Saturday games last week. I saw the first half of Richmond, St Kilda. Oh, no, I did watch a bit of Brisbane and Sydney. Saturday night games, no clue. Yeah, Sinclair's got that half back roll back again due to Nas moving more in the midfield. Harry Sheasel's CBAs have gone up in recent weeks, so that's really helped him, but in general, he's been fine. Callum Mills, 89. Yeah, there's a bit of fluctuation with his scoring, so that's all right. Bailey Dale, 104. He was on track for a bloody 160 and just did his disappearing act as he usually does in random parts of the game. There have just been so many times this season where he's on track for a massive score and then just craps the bed in certain parts of the game. So that's frustrating. Having him over Nas hurts. Tom McCarthy with an 80 is it's cool. McQualter's really annoying me. I know it's not a bad thing, but Tom McCarthy's moving into the CBA, so that it's a bit hard to judge what West Coast are going to do every week because they literally change players' positions every single week, which is, I guess, what you got to do in these situations. You're not playing for much. You got to mix the players around, but he's been doing it the entire year, and it does make me feel like that they don't know what to do or where to go. My dad's calling me. I'll call him back after. So yeah, I much prefer the kick out duty role for McCarthy, but not much you can do. Yeah, if he can be a full-time mid, I don't know. I think he's better as an inside player. As a kick it out guy, because I mean he scored well, but he had a lot of the ball. But first time he's produced some poor disposal efficiency, so which is obviously going to happen when you move into the midfield. I don't know. I don't think he's that type of player yet. Just don't do a marriage and go on the wing, mate. Bont, 125, can't complain. Day costs 99 at a dark day for the Pies, so good to knock them off. But day costs 99, that's pretty all right for not much you can do in that scenario. Dawson with a 146, very good score from Jay Daw. So he's been one of my best trade-ins all year. He just looks unbelievable. Zach Butters, 130, fantastic. Tom Green, 120, fantastic. Expect that against North. Brayshaw, 110. He's really dropped off the second half. He's turned more normal, but he's been a fantastic starting pick, as I say, every week. Rosie with a 112 is good. He played more midfield this week, and it was good for him to be actually back. I'd rather him be off half back because I'm concerned about that hand. Feels like a ticking time bomb, as I mentioned last week, but that's cool. McRae, 104. I mean, Steele's moved out of the midfield, it seems, and McRae's moved back in, so that helped. And I think Nas had lower CBAs as well. I think they're using more forward. I don't remember. Gorn, 142. sorry, I didn't vice captain him, vice captain Holmes, but yeah, Gawn was very good against Tim English, as we sort of expected. English can leak. Cherry, first game back, scored a ton, so can't complain. But gee, I will call you back. Yeah, it was good to have Cherry back. He doesn't look like he has the same intensity as he would when I don't have him in the side. Went 102 against Briggs, was hoping for more. Hopefully, he can put in a good shift against the Tigers there. Baz, Cameron, Myers destroyed the Bombers, so good all round. Myers has been a lovely little trade in. Cameron's been good, and Baz has just been unbelievable all year. Rankin, 121, finally moved back into the midfield, so that's great to see, and hopefully that can keep up because, yeah, the previous role was just atrocious, and I think he was getting out of jail a bit. I think we were getting out of jail a bit, like bar this score, he's, just being purely forward most of the time. Petrarca, 65, disappointing, but with Windsor's hammy, you would assume Petrarca moves back into the midfield, you'd hope. But yeah, I was flagging this. I mean, if he's going to keep the role he's usually in, then I think an 80 average is probably best case. Chad Warner with 106, high CBAs in a fair while, so that's good to see. Yeah, been a pretty vanilla pick. Hasn't been terrible, hasn't been great. 3 of the last 4 weeks a ton though, so can't complain too much with that. Rowan Marshall, 109. Yeah, he's very good to have, and he's got poor old Goldstein and Briggs to come, so that's good. Glad I held him because people would trade him out because he was in bad form. But bad form doesn't last forever. All right. Trades, got none to tell you about because I've got none. If I could trade Chera, let's say I had 495K to replace Chera, this might help out some people here. Looking for a replacement, I don't know, 495K. I probably would have gone Will Ashcroft because of no Lockie Neal. Yeah, I probably would have gone Will Ashcroft probably because Neal's out. His high CBAs of the season were this week. Yeah, I don't really like much else other than that, so I probably would have gone with Will the Thrill Ashcroft. So, yeah, that's the team for this week. Not much to report. Hopefully, Keeler and McKinlay might make a sneaky cameo for cover. Bo Allen and Campbell Gray out for the rest of the way. So, sort of forced to hold them in their current positions. Oh, maybe not. Who plays last? West Coast. So I think for the time being. Wait, sorry, I did that wrong. I've currently got a defender in the midfield for the time being because just in case there's a late change. I can't do much if Callum Mills or Bailey Dale are out, but I can move around certain guys to maybe get a bench score. So hopefully Mills and Dale are all good for this for the last two. So I'll probably have Tom McCarthy there because they're the last team to play, so he's easily adjustable to these four for whatever reason they're out. Let's have a look at some leagues. Oh, sorry. Struggling here. Hopefully good to go this week. Looking to go to Hawthorn Melbourne this week, so hopefully all good for that. So I actually won 8 out of 8 of my leagues this week, so that was good. We're in a few prelims. The bragging rights here, zoom with my mate Spud, so that'll be a good one. Got Janeth in the content creators prelim. I don't think that'll end well. Don't share to Mick, share to Supercoach Horse, but the bottom 10 finals don't really bother me. Good people, so just a mixture of mates and other people. Got Hock Wizards in the prelim there. So the problem with going bad in the qualifying final, which I sort of expected to happen. I mean, the good thing is you get a double chance, but then it means if you can have a good week in the semis, it means you're probably facing the best team. So going up against old mate Daniel this week in the SDS Super League 2, the prelim SDS TikTok League. We'll have a look at some of the rankings in a sec. This is sort of the big one. If I could pick a league to win, it would be this. The 20. I love all the leagues, so I hope I can win as many as I can. But if I had to pick, this is the only money league I'm in. If you make the grand final, it's $100. If you win it all, it's 400. So a lot on the line here. But as I mentioned earlier, if you go bad in the qualifying final and you get through to the semi, you're likely playing the best team. And Jordan, I'm not going to say that. Nathan has been the best player all year, and I've played him in the prelim, so it is a bit scary. Does he have Chera? Or like any carnage coming his way? No, of course he doesn't. No, he's good to roll. That's going to be tough. I just want to make the grand final. That's all I really care about in that one, just to make a bit of profit. Shorty's SuperCoach League 9. Got a prelim there. I'm in a lot of prelims, so that's good. We're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prelims. So hopefully we can win at least one of these leagues. I got to win something. So yeah, let's now move into some of the SDS Super League rankings. So 240th. Unfortunately, this league's sort of struggled all year, but we do have 3 guys inside the top 1,000. So that's a great result. Yeah, so Nicholas, Connor, and Stuart. And all three of them are in the... Did my TV turn on? Hang... Or is there a ghost in here? Why did my TV just turn on? Where's my... Just give me a second. Where is it? Let me just pause this. I'll be back. I remember why. It was because I had my PlayStation. I've been playing a fair bit of PlayStation whilst I've been in sick bay. So, yeah, just been started up a new career mode on EAFC just to pass the time a bit, doing with Morecambe. Obviously, pretty sad with Morecambe that they... I probably should have double checked, but I'm fairly certain that they folded as a club. So they were in League 2 the previous season. So rebuilding them. So I'm in League 1 now. Not playing all the games. I don't have that much patience. But yeah, sorry. Back to the league. So yeah, 3 guys inside the top 1,000. As I mentioned, the winner of this league will have access to the SDS Super League forever. So. So yeah, Stuart, Connor, Paul, Nicholas, best of luck to you guys. As we move into SDS Super League 2, which I'm somehow still in, even though I've been the 6th best this season. A lot of good guys missing out. But it's probably the inevitable James versus Daniel grand final. 2 guys that have had immense seasons. One is 19th. Unfortunately, James has dropped down outside the top 100, but stellar season from you too. 19th. I've got 19th in one of my leagues. That is amazing. I think regardless, I think these two will be... regardless of the situation, if James and Daniel will have immunity to SDS Super League, I'll elevate them to SDS Super League. So, yeah, they absolutely deserve it. So, and if Harrison wins, it'll be you 3. It'll be you 3. So, best of luck to you 3 out there. Yeah. What's the ranking for this league, by the way? 64th. What a season. Much to talk... Let me talk about draft for a second. Yes, Podmasters draft. I am in the grand final for Podmasters this week. It's the battle of the Stevens this week. SDS SuperCoach Steven versus SC Playbook Steven. So Battle of the Stevens. I don't think this will end well. I actually have Brody Grundy in draft. Grundy and Bont v C and C has probably been the reason why I got here, but because the rest of the team's pretty crap. Yeah, I think it'll be. I think it's been a very honourable effort from the boys, but yeah, I don't think we'll be making much noise in this grand final. And whacking the VC on McRae against the Bombers, and then going into Bont, likely just going to take that score with Bont and see how we go. Yeah, I'll drop a couple of guys here. Dylan Shield, Bailey Fritsch. Bailey Fritsch has got Hawthorn. He won't do much there. And then Dylan Shield's suspended. So Cher's out for the season as well. So that doesn't help either. So, yeah, best of luck to Stephen. I suspect he'll win. But it's been a good season for me. I think let's have a look at the ladder. Fairly certain. Yeah, I finished on top. So pretty lucky to finish on top. Yeah, Stephen's been the best player all year, and Pig mentality. He's obviously a gun. So, and then in the SuperCoach Edge Keeper League, I think I finished first as well. And I'm going up against Angus in the prelim. It's a final series of 2 rounds. The final series this week. And then Matthew and John O'Carroll in the other prelims. So, yeah, we're interested to see how that goes. This is a Keeper League. So this was made heading into 2024, and I'll mainly just focus on getting young talent in. I went crap in the first season, but second season it's really paying off. So, yeah, fair bit of young talent here that we can hopefully develop into a better side than what it currently is. But yeah, fairly happy with the squad. We'll see how we go this week. So yeah, a lot of prelims and finals, grand finals coming up for me this week. So all very exciting. So probably my main motivation at this point. I know I'm not going to have a great final rank. The goal is to finish inside the top 1%, and I'll probably consider it as a failure. But I don't think I'll be changing much on what I did this season heading into next year. I think I identified the right way to go about this season. It just just a couple of 50-50 decisions that didn't pay off. Hopefully pays off this time around next year, and then obviously later in the season just totally cooked me. So thank you for watching, guys. Yes, APL SuperCoach is something. I haven't touched APL SuperCoach in a fair while, so I have to build a new side because the Premier League literally starts in a few days. So I don't think I'll end up getting Stan, but I did hear that the Premier League Channel 9 are doing Premier League games one a week, so I'll be tuning into that. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't think I can stomach paying $40 a month on Stan. So it is heartbreaking because I did have Optus this whole time, but that's all right. I don't see enough to the games to make it worth it. I think it's very good early in the season. I love watching the Premier League early in the season. I still watch the highlights, so that's cool. I'll probably try to get a final EPL team over the next couple of days. I'm not going to act like I know what I'm doing in it. I think it's just going to be a learning season for a lot of people, unless you played Sports Deck. I think it's a fairly similar format to what you would do in AFL SuperCoach. Hunt for value and jump on the cash cows and build up as many points as you can, build up as much cash as you can to then later in the season have a full primo side and have any player you want. So I think that's probably the way I'm going to go about it. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.